Hey guys, welcome to Silicon Valley Girl. I know this time is probably the hardest you've ever had in your business, and 90% of businesses would agree with me. Really crazy times going on in the world, but I prefer to see this time as opportunity. And in this video, I would like to share ways you can survive in this crisis and things you can do with your business to come out of it even stronger and even better. So if you're interested in transforming your business, continue watching this video. A little background. I've been an entrepreneur since 2011, and I've survived one crisis before, and it was in 2014. It was kind of local crisis to Russia when Russian currency lost almost 70% of its value compared to dollar, and my business was solely study abroad. So people paid us in rubles, and I had to convert rubles into pounds, dollars, euros, and pay to our providers abroad. And when all of this happened, first, we lost a lot of money on transaction fees and converting currencies. And second, people stopped traveling because they could no longer afford those trips. There were some people who still traveled, so we maybe had like 3 to 5 clients a month, but it was nothing compared to what we had before those things happened. And I can't really compare that situation to what's going on right now, because right now 0 people can travel because borders are closed. And one thing that I learned from that crisis of 2014 is that you cannot have just one business. And this is one thing I want you to learn from this experience. You have to have several businesses. And I know there are a lot of people who would tell you it's better to focus on one thing. It's better to invest all of your time in one company because this is the only way you would be able to build a unicorn. And yes, maybe it's true. But for me, I like to think about my personal safety net. I like to think about my family. What's gonna happen if, what would have happened if I only had my study abroad company, if LinguaTrip only did study abroad? Because right now we do online. I have my YouTube channels. I do a lot of partnerships with companies. Like, what would happen to my family if we only relied on study abroad programs that are now 0 because people can travel? We're really hopeful that people would still travel this summer, but it's a huge loss to a lot of companies and the whole market. So I would really advise you to have multiple businesses at the same time, ideally on different markets, ideally with revenue streams coming from all over the world. Because if you can make something in English, that means you can sell to a lot of countries. LinguaTrip has clients from over 90 countries. Lingua Marina is a company that sells ads to companies all over the world. So English is your key here. A lot of people would tell you, always reinvest money back in your business. Live on ramen for the first couple years. And I agree, if you're a 20-something person and you can live with your parents and you can eat their food, then it's totally fine. But after a year, I would suggest actually taking money out of your business, because what's gonna happen if crisis happens, then your business is stuck with 0 revenue and you're stuck with 0 savings. And how are you supposed to support yourself and your family in hard times? So my suggestion here is pay yourself a good salary. Make sure you have savings. Yes, reinvest some money back in your business, but your income and your well-being should be the first priority, because you are the one who creates strategy. You are the soul of business. And if you have nothing to eat, if you're struggling to get food, if you're struggling with your rent payments, then your business is gonna struggle as well. So take care of yourself first, like with the mask on the airplane. Take care of yourself first and then take care of your baby. The next tip, obviously, go online. If you're online, you don't have to have an office space. And office space is not really useful right now, but a lot of companies are still paying for it. Like Salesforce, for example, they have the whole tower and they still have to pay for it. And if you're a small business, you cannot afford that in times like this. And Another benefit of being online is that you can have contractors versus employees. But here you need to be really careful because a contractor is somebody who cannot be directly managed by you. You cannot tell your contractor to work from 9 to 6 every day and use your corporate laptop and be there at this specific time. But you can tell them what they can do. For example, we have a contractor who makes videos for a Lingo trip, and we just tell him, hey, we need 5 videos on these topics. He creates them on his own and he just sends us footage. Or we have an editor who's a contractor who just bills us by hours that he worked. And this structure make your business more robust, because when you have more revenue, when you have more stuff that you need to do, you pay your contractors more. When there is less stuff they need to do, you pay them less. If you start rethinking your business model, a piece of advice from me, don't allow people to pay you later. We had a lot of problems when customers would travel and take the language course, and we would allow them to pay later and they would never pay us back, and they would just shut off their phones, and we will be stuck with invoices from schools. So we stopped that practice and we ask people to pay us upfront, because again, when hard times struck, the last thing people would want is to pay their dads back. They would be struggling for food, they would be struggling to sustain their average income and to pay their rents. They would not be thinking about your struggles, and you as a company would struggle with non-payments. So if you're rethinking your business model, ask people to pay you either upfront or maybe like within a couple of days after you deliver services, depending on what you do. But we always ask people to pay us upfront. Next thing I want you to do is to sit down and look at your financials. Look at different products that you have and remove products that don't make revenue. Remove products that are wasting your company's resources or that have really low margin, and focus on products that drive revenue to your business. And another thing, get rid of expenses. Something that I think is pretty useful is to get rid of monthly CPA fees, because you can do QuickBooks yourself. You can pay salaries yourself. That's not rocket science, and instead you would just pay your CPA at the end of the year to prepare your tax returns. And of course, there are many things within your business that you can do yourself as well in order to fight costs, but the last thing you should cut is marketing. Please don't cut marketing costs. Of course, if your product is viable, of course, if you feel that the market needs it, instead reinvest in marketing. Try to come up with new creative ideas. Try to market to a different demographic, but please don't cut your marketing costs, because this is what keeps your business alive these days. And the last but not the least, you are a leader in your company, so you really have to be strong for your team. You have to have a vision, you have to have a strategy. I know it's really hard these days, and this is why, guys, I ask you to pause here for a little and write down a comment below what is your business and what you're currently doing to keep it alive, because that would really help the community, that would really help entrepreneurs who are stuck these days to see what other people are doing, because that really helps to see people like themselves all over the world having the same problems, and we're all in this together. We all have the same problems, and I'm really looking forward to reading your comments and learning from you what you're doing with your businesses. So let's keep this community thriving, and let's support each other in comments below. And please never expect governments to help you. I come from a country where government doesn't really support businesses. I'm surprised by the US, by this $2.2 trillion plan to help individuals and small businesses. This is amazing, but I would never ever rely on it. You need to create a business that's self-sustainable, that would sustain you and your family in hard times. And if you think that the product is dying, that the market is dying, this is the best time for you to sit down and think about your strategy, think about what you're gonna do next, what you're gonna do in the next 3 years. And it's okay to pivot. It's okay to completely change your business model. If your business doesn't make money, then what's the purpose of it? Yes, you can be enthusiastic about it. You can reinvest all your time and all your personal savings, but at the end of the day, you're gonna run out of your energy, you're gonna run out of your money, and you're gonna lose your business. So make sure your business model is sustainable and it's making you money, and you're not relying on government, investment, or whatever. Just rely on your customers, rely on helping other people with your product and making money. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please stay positive. We're gonna get over it. The storm is gonna stop and the sun is gonna shine. And if you survive through this, you're gonna be a lot stronger. You're gonna conquer the market and you're gonna be one of the best. And this is, this is an amazing experience. And this is a huge opportunity to learn what to do next, because we will have another recession in 4 or 5 years. We will have another peak, economic peak in 2 or 3 years. So, you know, it's all cyclical. Please stay positive. Subscribe to this channel to stay even more positive about your business perspectives. And like this video for the YouTube algorithm. I will see you very soon in the next videos. Bye bye.